Joseph served God when he stood before Pharaoh. He served God when he sat before his family. And he also served God when he spoke to his brothers. Now when the 7 years of feasting came and good harvest, they put all the food in. And then when the famine came, as it would be, Jacob told his sons, listen, there is some food down in Egypt, I hear. I want you to go buy some and bring it home. Okay, so they went and they shared. They bought the food from Joseph. Everything that the provender, what they needed to sustain their family, they brought and they bought it from Joseph. Sacks of money. And when Joseph spoke to his brothers, since you don't have it on the screen, I'll give it to you slowly. 3a, he greeted them. Greeted them. In chapter 45, verses 1 through 18. And again, because time always goes faster than what I like when I'm speaking. I know it probably doesn't go fast enough for you guys. He greeted them. He received them. He gave them the food. He knew who they were, but he didn't reveal himself to them. He spoke kindly to them. Told them, he kind of gave them a challenge. When you go home, next time you come back, you better bring your youngest brother. I want to see him. So they went, told their dad, and Jacob's saying like, no way you're going Benjamin. You already went with Joseph once and he didn't come back to me. And this is Rachel's only other son, Benjamin. And in fact, I send Benjamin with you guys. He's not going to come back alive. I know you guys. So Jacob knew his sons knew his sons. Joseph knew how they were. Everybody knew they were pretty much scoundrels, a good part of them. No, I'm not sending him. Well, Dad, we're not going if you don't send him. Benjamin goes to Egypt with the brothers. Joseph sees his brother, same mother, same father. Has an experience, he weeps. And then he reveals himself to his brothers in Genesis 45. We went through those 4 chapters kind of quick, but that's pretty much it. Chapter 45, we see that now he reveals himself to his brothers. He cries, he weeps. He says, I'm Joseph. They're troubled in his presence. Wouldn't you be troubled if you thought, past 13 years, my brother's dead and it's my fault, and now he's standing before you as the ruler of all of the world? You kind of bow down before him. Remember the dream he had? And all the stalks, the sheaves bowed down before him. It's all coming true now. It's all coming to pass. But when he greeted them, he told them, look, here's the plan. You're going home. You're going to get Dad. You're going to get all your wives. You're going to get your children. You're going to get your cattle, your herd, and you're going to come to Egypt, and you're going to live with me. He graced them. He greeted them. He graced them. He gave them something that they surely did not deserve. They despised him. They sold him. It would have been so easy for Joseph to say, you know what I'm going to do? A tit for tat. You guys come up, and then you know what he could have done? I'm going to put you in prison for 13 years. Put you in prison. I'll let you feel the pain I felt. It's time for my revenge. Sometimes people hurt us and we say, well, you wait till I get my opportunity. I'll show them. Well, that's a Christ-like attitude, isn't it? They'll see who I am. They'll see my strength. Well, that's the problem when you want to show someone your strength. What we need to show them is God's strength. God's grace. God's goodness. Pastor, you don't know what they did to me. What did they say into slavery? Did they throw you in a pit? Did they leave you for dead? I don't know what they did. But what I know is, within you and me, is the power to forgive them. Is the power to show someone grace. You say, well, how do I show grace? You show it the same way God showed it to you. How did God show you and I grace? Did we deserve His salvation? Did we earn it? Are we so great? We're so pretty people that God said, oh, look at you, how sweet I want you. Because you're so special and precious. Is that it? No. God says, you know what? You're ruined. You're a mess. You're a sinner. But I'm going to take you just as you are. You've heard the song, just as I am, without one plea. God said, I'm going to take you just like that. But I'm going to make something great with you. And I'm going to bestow upon you grace. And by my grace, I'm going to call you to serve me. You see, we never come to know Christ by serving Him. We don't do good so that we can be right with God, before God. No, we do good based off the premise that God has done good to us. That is, you must first be called to salvation before you're called to service. Grace, the grace of God, precedes the good works of men. And I hope this morning that in your own personal life, there has been a time in your life where you have experienced God's grace in salvation. And I know for some people that's a difficult doctrine. It's a difficult word to receive sometimes. Because why? Because it doesn't make human sense. See, salvation doesn't make sense in the human mind. Because we think, you know what? If I work for something, that's when I get paid. See, I do something, then I receive. And that's how it works with us. But that's not how it works with salvation. Christ did it. We receive it freely. If you've never received God's free gift of salvation, I would encourage you to do so today. Know that we are called to serve. Now I'm going to turn this on because I've been called to serve. And we got some stuff to see. It's coming on. Joseph served God when he stood before Pharaoh. He served God when he sat before his family. And he served God when he spoke to his brothers. Where and in what capacity are you currently serving the Lord? Let's pray. Father,